Show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet.
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video I have polishes to share with you all from Jen & Barry's. I know that you usually see my face, but it is super late at night and I wanted to get this out so you guys could see these lovely swatches. Both of these collections are currently available. Today they both launched. We have two collections, the Trick or Trio, the Halloween Trick or Trio collection. These are three beautiful flaky filled neons. They're going to be priced at $13.25 each, or you can purchase all three for $36. And then we have the Star Trek collection. This is the Star Trek Villains version 2. There are 5 polishes in that collection, and they are all based off of villains. They're going to be priced between $12.50 and $13.50, depending on the polish. If you get all 5 of them, you can get 10% off. So let's get into these lovely swatches. I really want you guys to see them. All right, we are starting off with Lofty Ghouls, and this one is described as a neon green jelly packed with green, blue, shifty, iridescent, and black flakes with contrasting violet, magenta, shifty, iridescent flakies. So on that first coat, we go on a little bit sheer, but this is a jelly, so we are expecting that. The second coat, we're really building up that neon green base, and we're getting more of those glorious flakies. I'm seeing the blue shifts already. It's definitely concentrated in the middle of my nail. I did decide to go in for a third coat just to really amplify the base color, and on that third coat I got full opacity on my shorter nails. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody. We're seeing still the shifts of the blue iridescent flakies, the black flakies we can definitely see. And then the violet, magenta, shifty, iridescent flakies, I feel are a little more difficult to see. We're definitely seeing blue, which I guess can pull off as violet, right? Violet and blue. I feel like it's a fine line. I guess it depends. It depends on the eye of the beholder. But we definitely get peaks of that violet along the nail and with more like extreme angles. I'm really loving this green shade. I feel like it's still bright and bold, but it's not like super neon where it's like that obnoxious green. Like you can definitely wear this any time of the year. I mean, this would be glorious for Halloween and even beautiful in the summertime if you're a seasonal polish wearer. But it's just that perfect like grassy, bright grassy green color, like the grass that is growing in during the spring months. That's just super bright and concentrated. Like that is the green that I'm seeing. Love this one. Really enjoyed the formula as well. Pictured are 3 coats of Lofty Ghouls with a glossy top coat. Next up we have Smack My Witch Up, and I love that name. This one is described as a neon purple jelly packed with violet, magenta, shifty, iridescent, and black flakes with contrasting gold, yellow, shifty, iridescent flakies. So this applies just as the first polish, going on a little bit sheer, but it's a jelly, right? Building up on the second coat, we're getting a lot more of that purple base, like a nice bright primary / eggplant purple, and we're getting lots and lots of flakies. So I did go in for a third coat, so I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody to get a nice plump, full, juicy look. We're getting a lot of the gold and yellow shifty flakies. We can definitely see more of the violet, magenta, shifty, iridescent flakies in this polish, and it could just be because we are polishing with a more with a base that's more reminiscent to the color of the flakies as opposed to Lofty Ghouls where it was just more of a neon green and we were getting different shifts. But this one is beautiful. Definitely Halloween vibes, definitely Valentine's Day, summer as well, and honestly just fall in general. I feel like this is definitely a purple that I would love to wear in the fall months. With these polishes, because they're so flaky dense, I would definitely recommend a glitter smoother and then your glossy top coat. Or if you just have a really good glossy top coat, then it should be fine, because I know sometimes a lot of people don't like a lot of layers of polish, especially if you're already building up with 3. But if you're using a nice thick glossy top coat, then you're going to be all good to go and you'll get this nice plump juicy look. Pictured are 3 coats of Smack My Witch Up with a glossy top coat. And the third polish in this Halloween trio, this is Bottom of the Bag 2.0. So this one was originally created for the Halloween Polish Lovers Facebook group, and it's coming back as a 2.0 version. So it has the same neon orange jelly base packed with copper gold shifty iridescent flakes and black flakes, but now has an added sprinkle of contrasting violet magenta shifty iridescent flakies. That was a mouthful, guys, but again, we apply the same as the previous 2 polishes. You can see on the second coat, we got really good coverage, and I just went in for a light layer on that third coat just to sort of clean everything up and, really build up the base even more. And we got this nice bright neon orange base. The shifty flakies, we're seeing that copper and the gold. And then as for the violet magenta shifty iridescent flakies, we're seeing them at very extreme angles. They're sort of scattered along the nail. The black flakies in here are stunning. This is definitely screaming fall, Halloween. It's all the above. I really enjoyed the formula for all 3 of these polishes. They went on super smooth, no running, no, they weren't thick. Sometimes with flaky polishes, they can tend to be on the thicker side and be a little more finicky when you are polishing with them, but I didn't have any issues with any of these 3 polishes. It was just the right amount of base, just the right amount of flakies, and everything applied smoothly. Pictured are 3 coats of the Bottom of the Bag 2.0 with a glossy top coat. Alright, now we are moving on to the Star Trek version 2 collection, and we are starting off with the Max Factor. This one's described as a burgundy jelly base packed with glowy red gold shifty shimmer and scattered black red shifting micro flakies. So on the first coat, we go on a little bit sheer, but of course this is a jelly base we're working with. On the second coat, we are building up that beautiful burgundy base, and we're getting so much dancing shimmer. That shimmer is just glowing and dancing under the light. Now I did go in for a third coat just to sort of even everything out and really just have a nice solid base, and I reached the full opacity. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats will work best for you. Now we're seeing, of course, a lot of that beautiful shimmer, just dazzling and sparkling, and then we're getting a lot of that gold shift. I honestly see like an olivey green at extreme angles. I really enjoyed the formulation of this polish, and I think this is going to be perfect going into the Halloween month, going into the winter, especially like Valentine's Day. It just makes such a bold statement, and it still looks very pretty and delicate on the nails. Pictured are 3 coats of the Max Factor with a glossy top coat. Here we have Queen Bee, and this one is described as a black base with gold green magnetic pigment, emerald green and gold flakes, and a touch of iridescent gold sparks. Now, initially I didn't realize that this one was magnetic. I am going to show it to you magnetized, and then I will show it to you on a full hand swatch unmagnetized, because they both look gorgeous and just so different. They give you completely different looks. You can see the magnetic portion is extremely sensitive because we are getting a super strong pull. That like limey emerald green magnetic strip is just so surreal. It doesn't even look like it should be on the nail. It just looks like I edited and put it on my nail. That's how intense this looks. I just ended up going in for 2 coats. I probably could have done a third coat and it would have deepened up that black base even more, but I was fine with my shorter nails on the 2 coats, so I'm going to suggest 2 to 3 for everybody depending on how you polish and your nail length and preference and all of that. I love this even more magnetized. It looked beautiful unmagnetized. It gives you like this nice chromy sort of look, which is right here. You can see the flakies when it's not magnetized. Here I feel like it looks super like grungy and very like Halloween like. Not that the magnetized version doesn't, but you're just getting this nice solid like emerald lime green with those deep intense shifts at the edges of my nail. Really enjoyed this one. I was really surprised at how much I loved it because I'm not the biggest fan of magnetic polishes. It has to scream at me for me to really love it, and I definitely enjoyed this one. Pictured are 2 coats of Queen Bee with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Temporal Incursion, and this one is described as a bold blue jelly base with gold, green, blue shifty shimmer, and holographic flakies. This is for all my blue polish lovers. You're going to love this one. The amount of gold and green shifty pigment in here is just stunning. It really makes a statement in this bold blue jelly base. On that second coat, we're really building up the intensity of the color. We're getting a lot more shimmer on the nail as well. And then the holographic flakies, of course, they're not overbearing. They're just nicely sprinkled throughout the polish, so it gives you a nice little finish on the nails as well. But you can see the shifts already. Sometimes it's hard to, when you're looking straight down, to notice shifts of polish. But with this one, I felt like I could see everything that was described. So we're seeing the green, we're seeing the gold, I see a little bit of aqua. I love how we get the dark edges. It just gives it all this like mysterious depth, and it's almost like ocean-like too, with a little twinkle and sparkle. Really enjoyed this one. I think it's gonna look fantastic on everybody. This is a January polish for me. I like blue polish in January. That's just my thing. Maybe I might do like a blue January month, like just wear blues all month for January instead of like winter polishes. Maybe, we'll see. Pictured are 2 coats of Temporal Incursion with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Seskapades. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I didn't watch Star Trek, so hopefully I'm getting the pronunciation on some of these right. But this one is described as a neon blurple jelly base packed with blue, purple, and pink orange iridescent shifting flakes and black flakes. I love how this one is so different from the bunch. I really enjoy that when you have a collection and there's something in that collection for everybody, just so you don't feel like you need to purchase everything. You know what I mean? Like, obviously purchasing collections are fun, especially if you love all of them, but it's nice to switch it up and have different variations, different components, just to catch everybody's eye. But this one was gorgeous, definitely bright. I don't know if I'd consider it like neon, but definitely a bright polish. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to get like a neon purple or neon blue. I did go in for 3 coats on this one because it is a jelly formulation. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody. Loving how we're seeing all the different colors in here. We see pink, I see a little bit of orange, I definitely see the blue and the purple flakies. That blurple base has stayed true to its description, and I feel like it doesn't lean too purple and it doesn't lean too blue either. I mean, it might change depending on your skin tone as well, but really enjoyed this one. I love the squishy factor that it gives because this is so flaky dense. You could go in with a glitter smoother and then your glossy top coat. Not that this is going to dry down with any texture, but you know, you want that plump juicy look, and sometimes flakies can be a little thirsty too, so just keep that in mind. But really enjoyed this one. Such a fun mix amongst all of these other polishes. Pictured are 3 coats of Seskapades with a glossy top coat. And our last polish is Chaos Theory, and this one is described as a gray base with holographic microflakes, black and silver flakies. This one was definitely a fun one. I'm getting like composition notebook vibes with this polish. We went a little bit sheer on the first coat, but on the second coat we can see that gray base really building up. I did go in for a 3rd coat just to fill in any bald patches that I had, and it completed that look. Full opacity. I'm going to recommend 3 coats for everybody. I'm loving how we're getting a true gray base and not anything like a close to black or like a deep gray. I feel like it gives the opportunity for these components to really shine. So the holographic microflakes that we're seeing, the black and silver flakes, they all are visible on the nail. And I love that. This is gonna look so good for the winter time. I can see this as like a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day sort of manicure. Really enjoyed this one. I am a huge fan of the color gray. It's actually one of my favorite colors. So definitely loving this one. Pictured are 3 coats of Chaos Theory with a glossy top coat. Alright everybody, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these polishes. Again, they have already launched and they are ready for purchase if you decide that you want to grab any. I know this is the portion of the video where I decide on which one I love the most, and it's so hard because I really liked and I really enjoyed a lot of these polishes. I guess if we break it down and we start with the Star Trek collection, I really enjoyed Temporal Incursion. Queen Bee Magnetized was just mind-blowing. And then, of course, Chaos Theory. I just really loved the lighter gray base and all the components in there. And as for the Halloween trio, these are also vibrant and juicy. But if I had to pick one out of the three, I'm going to be going with Lofty Ghouls. I just really enjoy a nice, bright, vibrant green, especially for now, for Halloween, for sure. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you in my next one.